All right, what is up, my friends? Yesterday we spoke about how to find and cultivate partnerships. Today we take that to the next level by understanding what those actually look like, okay? It is absolutely possible to perform every duty that I'm about to outline. I just wouldn't suggest it, right? Most multifamily syndicators like like ourselves will divide and conquer, right? Especially in the beginning. And understand the possibilities with how you structure that business are endless. Okay, you can partner up with people on a deal-by-deal basis. You can launch a full syndication business, or you can do all the above, right? It's very common, though, for small real estate firms to have two main principles. So two main partners, right? One who focuses primarily on the investor relations side of the business and overseeing the capital raise, talking to investors, stuff like that, while the other partner focuses more on the operating side of the business, the business structure and then the implementation of the business plan. Some of those roles crossed over, when Ryan and I decided to structure MF Capital Partners, but we structured it in a very similar manner. We took more of a hybrid approach, okay? Knowing that over time we'd build a full-fledged syndication business that we have today, but also realizing that partnering with other operators could dramatically reduce the learning curve and increase overall profitability, which really leads us into step one of this lesson, okay? Step one of this lesson, let's pull this up, is to define your business goals, okay? So define. All right, we have to define our business goals, okay? And then determine if they align with the goals of the potential partnership that we're considering. So defining the goals, of the partner that you're considering, I guess I would say is less important if you're partnering with other operators on a deal-by-deal basis, but it's critical if you're looking to, to form like a true partnership with somebody. And listen, you do it the exact same way that we did in week one. You do that by looking to the future and then working backwards from there. What is your 10-year target, your 3-year picture, and your 1-year plan? Only when you have those defined, in my opinion, can you truly determine what you have to accomplish in the next 90 days to be on track. Your long-term goal or target isn't necessarily about trying to predict what will happen. It's far more about making decisions about what you know, what you will do tomorrow based on what you know today, essentially, okay? Now, number 2 is define your seats. So define seats. Define the seats of the syndication business. Once your business goals are defined, the next step will be to define the actual seats that are needed with those who will fill who will fill those seats. So to help you with that, okay, here are the 6 most common seats in an apartment syndication business, okay? The 6 most common seats in an apartment syndication business. All right, number 1 is who covers the equity raise. The individual who covers the equity raise can carve out 25 to 40% typically. These are the individuals who are responsible for all ongoing communication with the investors. They're going to notify the investors of new opportunities. They're going to create the property packet, lead the investment offering webinar. They're going to finalize investor commitments, organize subscription docs, notify investors once the deal is closed. They're also going to be the ones responsible for sending ongoing deal updates to the investors through the whole period. Number 2 is the loan guarantor, the sponsor, right? And they can carve out typically 5 to 20%. Remember how the GP carve out, the managing shares. This individual has to have the network, liquidity, experience requirements to qualify for commercial financing. This will almost always be handled by another operating partner in the beginning. And then number 3, the other seat is the acquisitions manager. The acquisitions manager can carve out 15 to 25% of the GP carve out. The acquisitions manager is responsible for really a number of key roles. Key roles such as finding the deal, underwriting the deal, submitting offers, overseeing due diligence, once the deal is under contract, and ensuring that the deal actually closes. Because this person is in charge of finding the deal, they're also going to be the one, building the relationships with the commercial listing brokers, implementing any, off-market lead generation strategies like we've talked about as well. Okay, and then number 4 is the asset manager. Now, the asset manager can carve out typically 20 to 35% of the GP carve out. This individual is responsible for implementing the business plan, once the deal is closed. They will be the ones who do the weekly performance reviews with the property management company, also frequently analyzing the market to determine when is the best time to sell that property as well. And then number 5 is the upfront money. That there's upfront money, involved. And if that's all they did, maybe 5% of the GP carve out. So there's upfront costs, right? That will need to be paid for, on the journey to closing an apartment. These costs are earnest money deposits, lender fees, legal fees, stuff like that. And even though they're reimbursed once we close, right? Someone will still have to cover them in the beginning. So that person can carve out 5% if that's the only role you did. And then number 6 is business structure and branding. Now, business structure and branding is kind of a question mark, okay? Things like choosing the investment market, branding, finding and interviewing other team members. But here's the thing. That being said, those responsibilities are most commonly split up between those, covering the other 5 roles, okay? All right, so then your other side, back to this, okay? The third D, the Ds, okay? Not double Ds, triple Ds, even better, right, Ryan? Is we need to determine who will fill the seat. So determine who, that says determine, okay? Determine who will perform the responsibilities for each of those 6 roles. Once the roles are allocated and everyone is on the same page with what responsibilities align with their specific role, you can now start to negotiate a fair ownership split. As you grow into a full syndication business, you can begin to hire people. Those seats that we just talked about, you can begin to hire people, employees to handle those responsibilities. Who those employees are, how you compensate them, that varies even more dramatically than ownership structure. So it's definitely a different topic for another day. But how you determine the right people to work with, whether they be employees, partners, third-party partners, is by finding those who share your company's core values, essentially, those you enjoy being around is huge, and those who make you and your company better. Then we need to make sure that we don't forget to do the same things for them, which is make them and their company better. Okay. And of course, be an absolute pleasure to be around, which is all y'all know how to do, because you are some pleasurable sons of bees. You want to know how I know that? Because look at this. Dennis Garza, don't think I forgot about you, bro. Dennis Garza gave me this bracelet at an event that I did in Denver. Dennis, thank you. All the rest of y'all, start picking up your game, okay? I need gifts. No, don't send them to me. Send them to other people, okay? People that you work with. Don't go out of your way to do those little things for people. It makes a huge difference, okay?